Hello, Virgo, to your in-month reading. I hope you friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, hit that big old like button and subscribe. That's just coming out. Success and growth. Ooh. Okay. Through manifestation. Getting that miracle coming in, having that magician coming in, saying I'm using all the tools that I have within myself to get to this success and growth. I'm really wanting that and really having the clarity of belief right now. So there is definitely something right now that you are working hard on, and it just feels like, you know what, I'm going to continue down this road. I've confronted what I needed to confront within myself to be able to hold all of the keys. You know, the magician, he holds the pentacles, the wands, the swords, the cups. He's got it all, right? He's got all the elements with him. And you know what? It's saying I'm using all the tools on the table and confronting what it is that I truly needed to confront to get to where it is. And that's what causes the clarity of belief, right? That's what's going to cause that clarity of belief. And simply love. Also kind of going back into the past and kind of feeling that nostalgic feeling. Sometimes we have to go back to the past the way we can feel that feeling that maybe we were missing. I remember when I, got this job and I felt this way, or I had this idea and I felt that way. So it's kind of like remembering. It's remembering where that love is. It's remembering what that feeling is when I finally, want something that I'm passionate about doing. And it's really teaching you to grow. And I do feel like there's a growth process going on right now, right? And you're going to continue to grow for these daydreams and these decisions. And you know what? It's just going to really push, that passion is really going to push towards that dream coming true, right? Because you have definitely are feeling like you're changing your focus right now. And your focus is going to continue to keep changing, right? As you're feeling this and you're really spreading your wings, because you're going to start seeing these opportunities coming towards you. Right, you're going to start seeing them. It's just going to be like magic. It's just going to open up these doors. Having this higher vibration, you're going to start feeling different, looking at things that are different and feeling, you know what, these are where my intentions are going to be. So it's like rebuilding that passion within yourself right now, and really, finding new opportunities. And these opportunities are going to feel almost magical, right? Because as you're giving and receiving, as you're giving that energy, out, you are receiving all the messages that are needed to guide you at this time to really find what it is you're truly looking for. So, and it's going to kind of feel like magic, because all of a sudden you're going to, go to look for that job and you're going to be like, they don't have any job opportunities for me around this area. And then all of a sudden here's 2 or 3 that are within the area that you would like to travel, right? It's just by magic. Why? Because you're using that vibration, that higher vibration. Remember, we don't get what we want, we get what we vibrate towards. So that's how we get our desires. People always say it too. It's like, well, then how do we get what we want? Well, you need to vibrate at that energy level. That's how you get what you want, because you want it to want you, right? That's what's called law and attraction. I'm attracting the same energy, and it's showing that that's exactly what you're doing right now around this particular time of the month. That you're definitely, looking deep within yourself and refocusing that energy, whether you know it or not. You're doing so just by having that change, just by having that refocus. And if you haven't started refocusing, now is the time, right? Let's get it going. Let's get, let's push through this, right? Let's not wait until, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, right? Let's start now. Right? Let's start right this second. That's the idea, right? The idea is, I heard it, I know it, now I know what to do, right? So you really want to start, looking deeper within that situation and allow that vibration to push that towards you. Can only manifest what we're vibrating towards. That's why half the things we want we never get, right? Because we can't reach that level of vibration. Okay, so here we go. The manifest is the King of Wands, the natural leader, being that natural leader, stepping into your own power. You have the dynamic energy of that leader, my friends, and that's what it's showing. You are the leader. Why? Because you're holding all the tools within yourself. We can all do this. You are the visionary. Vision what it is. See the picture. Bigger picture is going to bring in that new focus, right? So if you're focused on love, you're going to bring that love. We're talking probably more career and finance over here more than anything, but it doesn't have to be, right? It could be anything that you know you are desiring. Okay, so this could be career focused, of course, but it was overcoming all those obstacles that said, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I'm getting rid of all the worry and getting into the clarity of belief. I have the mental clarity and understanding to transform all of this back to myself right now. Because the clarity of belief card is the Ace of Swords. So it's saying you do have the mental clarity to see past obstacles, see past what it is that's holding you down. But using all those tools is going to allow you to further, right, that reach of what it is you're trying to grab. Okay, so it says confronting the wealth, confronting what it is that you truly want with the Ace of Pentacles. Or the Ten of Pentacles, excuse me. I want the Ten of Pentacles, right? I want the long-term success. I want the domestic love. I want the home. I want to attain this. I want to attain that, So everything that you are looking for is finally starting to turn around in your fruitation area as long as you confront what it is, right? And don't confront what it is you don't want. It's confronting the pros and cons to the situation. Confronting my deepest fears and worries. If I keep worrying, it's not going to get me anywhere, right? If I keep fearing that things are not going to be good for me, I'm holding myself back. It's called self-sabotage, right? So you're reaching out and saying, I'm confronting this with a higher vibration and following my heart. And by following my heart means that now I have the charm. I have the creativity. I have a purpose. I can see the beauty and that surrounds me and knowing that things are coming to me. And I can also, by following your heart as the Knight of Cups, is where that nostalgic feeling will start coming back to you. The nostalgic feeling is that joy of remembering this is what it felt like. I remember, right? And it doesn't matter how long ago it's going to go back. I mean, for sometimes it can go back as far as high school, right? And saying, I remember when I was happy graduating, and I was going to be this and I was going to do that. Feel that energy around you because it's a high vibrational energy, right? And then, of course, something probably got stuck in between. God only knows. But it's the ending of that energy and beginning of a new cycle because this is where the transition is coming through because of the clarity of belief. So you're definitely going through a death. You're shedding the old and the old ways of looking at things, the old way of what challenges do come and what challenges I'll hold on to for the purpose. Because no matter what, every purpose has a challenge. It's just what challenges are good and what challenges are bad. If I'm allowing the reaction to these type of challenges to be way overwhelming, I'm not going to get to where it is I need to be. So I want to bring in this death card to challenge myself and take on the challenges, but I want them to feel like it's following my heart. They're needed challenges, right? These are needed challenges, kind of like if I want to be a doctor, I'm going to have to challenge myself to go to school to do so, right? And then these tests are going to be challenging, but I have to pass them because otherwise I won't be a doctor. See what I mean? So you're gathering the information as you're confronting the situation of what it is I want to hold on to and what I'm going to let go of. Because remember, the death card's about letting go. And a lot of it is the way I'm thinking. Am I thinking that it's always doom and dread and I'm never, you see what I'm saying? Or am I going to say, this is a challenge and I got this? So it's refocusing and rebuilding on what it is you have for your passion and where the passion, is going to stand above everything else. And that's what it is. And there is going to be choices, right? It doesn't matter if it's choices in love. It doesn't matter if it's choices in work. Choices are always choices, and there's always going to be a choice. It's just depending on where you're putting your value. What is valuable to you? How much passion do you have for the situation, right? How much deep love are you going to express out there? Keep that energy high. Because no matter what, there's always going to be temptations. There's always going to be bummers and downers and toxicity, right? There's always going to be some kind of an attachment to want to go towards the negative side because we're human. But we have to remember, wait, stop. Just because of this happened doesn't mean I need to get hopeless, right? I need to change that focus, really learn about the situation. So this is all about that learning how to keep that vibration at least as moderate as possible without letting it get low, right? And if it does get low, how long am I going to hold on to that low energy, right? Because that low energy will destroy. So we have that learning to manifest, learning financial opportunities, learning new skill developments, having that ambition, right? The Page of Pentacles says, I have the ambition. I'm holding this pinnacle. I'm holding this news and this information. The information is also the information that I'm learning to hold on to. And it's also about, daydreams and decisions and holding on to all of those things. And the reflection, right? The reflection of itself. It's saying you're going to have this limelight moment right now. You're going to feel like you're in the limelight. Good fortune is coming around you and it's surrounding you with achievement. Why? Because you're progressing towards that own recognition, which is now pushed to the public, right? Because you're vibrating high. So with changing your focus, you are definitely opening up, like I said, these new doors and for these happy surprises. Those things all of a sudden start flooding towards you. Okay, of course, with the spread your wings, you're walking that red rainbow bridge, but there are going to be some decisions, right, as you're progressing. So there's going to be a lot of decision making, right at this time for these new possibilities, because as things are opening up, maybe there's too many. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of choices. Like I said, you're going to open that up and be like, wow, now I have one here, 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 and there. And now maybe I just want to, take all the ones, put my resumes onto all of these that are surrounding me. But then what happens when they both want to offer you a job? Do you see the point I'm saying? Now you're going to have to make a choice. And you're going to have to say, okay, do I make, is there a 501k? Is there health benefits? Is there this? How much money am I making? See, so now you're going to have to run it down again. Okay, because there is, and especially in love as well, you're going to open up and you might even have a Capricorn or a Virgo or a Scorpio or a Pisces coming towards you. Okay, because it looks like you have choices in love all of a sudden. Everybody wants you. Why? Because you're at a high vibration. When we're at a high vibration, that's why people want you, See, this is crazy because, somebody asked me once, they told me, it's crazy. Ever since I got married, I have more suitors after me, than I've ever had suitors. What is this ring like, do they not see my ring? I said, no, it's because you're at a higher vibration. You know what you have. You're in love. You know where you stand. And because you have romance and love within your life, you're vibrating all those things and that self-confidence and love. So you're vibrating to all these, well, it was a woman I was talking to, of course. But, you're vibrating all this love and all these men see it. They see it. They want it. Because they can feel that heart chakra open. They can feel that you're that very loving person and radiating at this higher vibration, right? So, and she's like, but I'm, happy in my marriage. I love my marriage. I said, exactly. And they know that they can feel that energy coming off of you. And that's why they're attracted to you, ring or no ring. It doesn't matter. Right? And in fact, at that time, they probably didn't even see the ring because they just feel that energy surrounding you that they want to, reach out to you. And this is so true. And that's what you're doing right now with these suitors. They're like, oh my gosh, she's so full of love with the Knight of Cups because you've become this Knight of Cups. And the same within a job situation. It's like, well, I've already got a great job, but thanks for the job offer. You'd be great here. Oh my gosh, you're so personal and you're so fabulous. I already make way more money than you make. You know what I mean? So I'm already comfortable where I am. right? But you could think, oh my God, if I wanted a second job, I could totally come here, right? But yeah, and that's exactly what's happening because you are becoming magnetically attractive in the ways of your life, the way that you're sending out your energy. You are on fire. You're this fire energy, right? You're ready for that passion. You're ready for that inspired action. You're ready for the adventure. You're feeling impulsive. You could jump, right? You're going to jump. And so this is why you have all these messages coming in. And as you're moving up the ladder, and you're going to start feeling like all these things, what is going on? Some of you are traveling. I just want you to know that. Literally traveling. You could be on vacation or travel. You could even be traveling and meet these people. Some of you are actually going to travel to meet those people. So yeah, but this is, it's like this infinite kind of energy of courage and self-belief and focus that you have going on around you. So yeah, it's just definitely feeling that. Yeah, and you have the sun coming out as the overall energy for the reading, which doesn't surprise me. It's that fun and that warmth and that celebration that everyone's feeling around you. Definitely might even be surrounded by a beautiful Leo that's coming your way. That could even be another choice for you. As you're just planning for the future. Yeah, there's a lot of sun and a lot of blessings as you're planning for the future over here. I just really see that. I do see this one person, though. I just have to bring this up really fast. I do see this one person around you who's actually feeling like they're having some kind of personal transformation. They're rushing towards you, driven to succeed. It's just because, I don't know, they see you in a different light. You may have had poor communication or bad news with this person, but now all of a sudden they want to be in your limelight. You're limelighting. Yeah, it was somebody that you had broken communication with or distrust or a breakup. They're really feeling it right now as they kind of see you moving up the ladder over here and radiating all this. You're just like getting their attention from all this radiating energy that you're putting off. That's interesting. They're a little bit hesitant, though. They don't really want to take the risk to ask you. It's because they don't think that they can fix this. This is an ex, I think, or somebody you were going... You know what it feels like? It's not even an ex. It feels like somebody that you had had communication with before that it didn't really work out. Like we were kind of dating, but not really dating, but you're not really my ex, right? Because we didn't really go that far. And now they want to kind of come back and try to redo it again, but you're kind of standing in their own beliefs over here, but they're not sure if they want to take that risk. They're kind of hesitant because they know that you guys didn't really hit it off all that well. But they would like to try it. It's almost like they want a second chance because they do see you. You could run into them at some kind of party. Absolutely. And they do really want to. They definitely do want to have a second chance with you. This person could have actually just got out of surgery, some kind of surgery. Yeah, it was almost like they just cut their loss. It was like you guys cut your losses together. And now they just kind of have the desire to want to reconcile the situation. Even though it's not really a reconciliation, it's just kind of like, hey, you want to try again? Because it's not one of those things that really ended. It didn't end poorly. It just didn't end. There just wasn't enough attraction, and now all of a sudden they're super attracted. It's like they're attracting on the outside, but you guys were so opposite that there wasn't enough attraction to keep you guys going strong. So, and it was like things that could like literally just like be on the breakdown. Like I listen to country music and you listen to rap, and we're not anywhere near each other. And it was just like everything was like that though. You know what I mean? Like everything. It was like you were two different people. But there was a mutual attraction. It's just that in the end, it was like I love reading. You don't even like books. You know what I mean? Yeah, because this person doesn't even feel like a risk taker. Like they, and you might be more of a risk taker. I like to go do, I like roller coasters and skydiving, and this person's like, nah, not for me, man. I want to sit over here and, I want to read a book and play video games and, garden. And you're like, whoa, we're nothing alike. You know what I mean? And they could be like super homebody type of person. I don't know. There's something going on. It's super different. There's just no mutual interests. But they want to come back. They're like, you're going to run into this person for sure. Okay, that's for some of you. Okay, my friends, let's see what's going on over here. And it's not going to be a bad thing. It's just going to be like, oh, you again. That's about it, right? And they're going to, but they're going to kind of be hesitant to even say anything. It's kind of like you're bumping into them, and they're like, hey. And you're like, oh, hi, yeah. See yourself as you would see a friend. Be objective about it. And respect your inner cycles and honor them on your healing journey. Love it, guys. Okay, until next time. Peace and love. Bye-bye.